Hello, my lovelies. Let's change our lives 90 days at a time. Now, I know what you're thinking. Hold on. You expect me to change the entirety of my life in 90 days? Woman, are you mad? Stay with me. There's a method in the madness. When I look at changing my life, where I am and what I'm doing, I look at it in 5 sections: my health, my wealth, my relationships, my self improvement, and my faith, my higher consciousness, if you will. Whatever that may be to you, that's the category for faith, spirituality, manifestation, that higher fulfillment. When I look at my health, I look at what do I want to achieve by the end of the year? How do I want to feel? For women, a lot of us come down to, I want a home. I want a place of my own. Actually, we want to feel safe and secure. And we believe that having a home of our own will provide that safety and security. So instead of going after objects, start going after feelings. And think about what would bring you the feeling of security, the feeling of safety, the feeling of wellness, the feeling of fulfillment. And you'll find yourself having a more guided journey rather than something rigid that you put your head down and grind and then look up and realize the goalposts are over here. I'm going the wrong way. So when it comes to your health, I break it down to the 5 pillars. The 5 pillars are quality of your sleep, your water consumption, because let's face it, our brains are over 70% water, not enough of it, and we're foggy. Your supplements, medications, and nutrient densities of what you're consuming. I put these all in a similar category because for some of us, we need a supplement because our bodies just isn't able to absorb or produce things. For others, it's just being sure that the foods we're consuming is as nutriently dense as we can get. Because with the cost of inflation, I know sometimes quality, you just can't get it. But you do the best you can. And then there are others who require medications to supplement whole chemicals that are missing or deficient. Those with ADHD, neurodivergencies, executive dysfunctions. Coming from an ADHDer, I think I said that right. I know that for me, when I needed it, when I'm not able to produce that chemical, honestly, if you can't make it yourself, store-bought's fine. I'm going to come out and say it. Don't let anybody tell you differently. If you are not producing the chemicals necessary, and you've looked at other aspects of your life and went, everything seems sufficient, if you're not making it yourself, store-bought's fine. Okay? You do you, what's best for you. And you'll find over time, it's not a cure-all, but it makes it a hell of a lot easier to live life when you're got the chemicals you require to make the body function. Okay? Shout out and love to those who require medications, just like you need glasses for your eyes, prescriptions for the chemicals in your brain. No shame. You also need purposeful movement. So we've had quality sleep, water consumption, supplements, meds, nutrient-dense foods. Purposeful movement, it doesn't have to be a lot. It really doesn't. If you can do 10 minutes of consistent movement once a day, every day, you are leaps and bounds ahead of where you were yesterday sitting on the couch watching 8 hours of Netflix. Actually, I don't know anybody who can binge watch 8 hours of Netflix, so if you can, I'm impressed even though I shouldn't be. Last but not least, stress management. This one, everybody just says, oh yeah, well, I smoke what I smoke, or I take these oils, or We are trained on how to handle our environments, including stress, from the time we're children. That is training. Stress management is to retrain your brain. New habits, new schedules. I'm going to quote the Croods. Your brain is like grug from the Croods. New is bad. New is always bad. That's how your brain works, because your brain has been systematically trained to behave a specific way that is comfortable, that is safe, that is familiar, and your brain can keep you safe in those situations. When you are changing habits, new's bad. So you've got to learn to train your brain to trust yourself. That when you say we're going to move 10 minutes every day, once a day, you move 10 minutes every day, once a day. And eventually your brain will go, oh, okay, new's actually not that bad. We're doing this. So when you're making goals for your health, don't go objective. I want to lose 10 pounds. I want to gain 30 pounds of muscle. By the end of the year, I want to look like a supermodel. Those are very immeasurable, I guess, and they're not sustainable. Again, because your brain is trying to process something new. New is bad. What you need to be doing is taking that year-long goal, treating your weight as a symptom and not a cause. Focus on your wellness, all 5 pillars: sleep, stress management, hydration, your supplements and nutrients and medications, and manage your stress. You're going to find, no matter what you do, you can do anything. But if you do it consistently, every day, once a day, for 30 days at a time, and then reassess, you're going to discover that the byproduct of this regime is weight loss, is better joint health, is clearing the brain fog, is better energy, less yelling at the little people we created in this life. It's all intermeshed together. The next one I'm going to talk about is relationships, because this one's a doozy. Relationships fall into 4 categories: your relationship with yourself, your relationship with your family, your relationship with your work, business, and then your relationship with your creator. Whomever, whatever benevolent being that is, your creator. Your relationships are a direct reflection of your relationship with yourself. How you talk to yourself, how you treat yourself, how you view yourself. It is really important for you to look yourself in the mirror every morning and every night and realize the human being staring back at you was born worthy of love, of achievement, of compassion, of great things. You are worthy, and you have to tell yourself that every day. The narrative needs to change inside our brains. And that will reflect in the relationships around you. The quality of your relationships directly affect the quality of your life. That being said, as you grow, you're not going to change, you're going to develop, right? You're a flower or a plant that can't bloom in its current environment. So you're changing the environment so you can bloom. You're not becoming a succulent from a daisy. You're not changing. You're growing, you're developing, you're blooming. Okay? But as you grow and develop and bloom, you're going to find that your relationships are going to change because your relationship with yourself changed. And you're going to need to make room for loss. You're going to need to make room to grieve. Hear me out. Grief is love without a place to go. Your brain needs to learn to love a memory. That is a grieving process, and that is different for everybody. That happens in its own time. When somebody says you never stop loving someone, that's right, you never stop. But the process of grieving is learning to love a memory. So be sure when you're assessing your relationships with yourself, with others, and as you're growing and going through this journey, this New Year's goal, whatever it might be, to make room for the process of grieving the loss of some of these relationships, because they will fall by the wayside, at least one. I am going to say that there are some familiar family relationships that I can almost guarantee I'm going to have to step back from as I'm growing and developing this year. This is why I'm passing this information on to you. It's something we need space for. So be aware. The relationships with yourself, you got to assess them, the relationships, with others. If you're at work and you are unfortunately bound to a project with somebody who is incredibly toxic, you're going to have to make room to let them be while setting firm boundaries. And it's not whiny boundaries of, if you talk to me like that again, we're going to have a problem. It's, if you continue to talk to me that way, I'm going to have to remove myself from this conversation, and we'll have to find another way to finish this project, because I will not continue to be spoken to like this. No threats. I'm going to remove myself from this situation, and we will find a workaround, or somebody else can replace me. So the next one I'm going to talk about is self-improvement. A lot of people are going like, well, self-improvement is how you think about yourself and how you feel about yourself and how you connect with the higher fulfillment. I'm going to bring you back down a little bit. The self-improvement I refer to is skills that you have and improving on them, or skills you want to learn. And it doesn't have to be anything big, right? If you're a cook in a kitchen, that's your job, but you want to learn SEO, that's self-improvement. Why? Because that doesn't benefit anybody but you. You're not using SEO in the kitchen. If you want to learn to knit and you want to learn to knit lace, who does that benefit? Directly? That doesn't benefit anybody but you. That's self-improvement. That is becoming a richer, more cultured, cultivated human being that you enjoy. Your self-improvement should be fulfilling, challenging, and bring you some semblance of joy when you think about getting it done. As a byproduct, other people may indirectly benefit from this. Again, you're working in a kitchen and you decide you're going to learn about SEO and social media marketing. The boss comes in one day and says, we need to drive more traffic and let them know that we got a new menu, but that's going to cost a lot. You can say, for an extra $100 a week, I can run our social media platform because I've learned SEO and marketing. Here's my certificates, and here's an example with my own social media. What do you think? Indirectly, those skills that you learned because you were curious and you wanted to be a better person may actually benefit others. But self-improvement should not be about learning skills to make other people's lives easier or better. Self-improvement should always be about improving yourself and maybe proving to yourself that you're capable. Now, the faith, spirituality, mindfulness, higher fulfillments, your relationship with the Creator, whomever that is, whatever that is an incredibly personal topic. There are as many ways to find fulfillment in this area as there are human beings on the planet. So I'm not going to spend too long on this, but I am going to say there is no one size fits all, but there is one thing everybody can and should do. Okay? I believe. Look yourself in the mirror every morning and every night. Really look yourself in the eye and say, you are loved. You are worthy. You are kind. You are caring. You have a great sense of humor. You are doing amazing things. And I love you. Find those qualities you want to see in everyone else in your relationships and put them in you. Start having faith in yourself. Bring it home. Because at the end of the day, we got ourselves. We take care of us. All right? Not gonna lie though, a little inspirational quote, some meditating on difficult situations, those are skills that you can learn, and they are very helpful. But whatever you're going to do it with kindness and do it with love. So the last thing we're going to talk about, wealth. Again, this is just as personal and as individual as the faith. I'm going to go against the grain. Do not, under any circumstances, make a budget. Oh yeah, that's right. You heard me. Do not make a budget, at least not yet. Why? Because you need to know how much money comes in a year, how much money leaves in a year. And why a year? Because some bills are annual, some are biannual, some are monthly, some are weekly, some are bi-weekly. You need to get a full year's look at what comes in, what goes out. And then decide, are these expenses necessary? And where can I boost that income? Then at the end of looking at that year, you're going to say, okay, so in order to sustain what I've got, I need to have this much money coming in annually. But if there's any emergencies, I need to have at least a third of that set away for dental, vet, house damage, medical emergencies, right? Life happens. And life happens at several WTFs a minute. So there's so many options on how you can budget once you know what's coming in and what's going out. There are, like I said, as many ways to budget as there are people on the planet. Find what works for you. And don't be afraid to change it. Again, every 90 days, every season, every turn of the wheel. Life moves and grows and flows, and you've got to learn to grow and flow with it. I'm kind of running out of time here, which is why I'm speeding up. The next thing you can do, and to improve this, is take a skill you have and can you teach it to others? Now, don't look at me and go, I got no skills. I cook on the line 10 hours a day. I come home, I sit on my butt. I don't want to do anything else. Okay, hear me out. I used to work in a kitchen, which is why I give that example. I worked in several kitchens, and I came to discover that there are a lot of human beings out there who would be absolutely fascinated by how you cook in an industrial kitchen, how you cook in a commercial kitchen, how you cook in a theme park kitchen. Not gonna lie, I worked for Santa Claus for a summer. That was cool. And there are so many people who would want to know the ins and outs of that. How does it work? What do you make? How do you prep? I got 2 kids at home. I have 3 kids at home. There are some days I look at the fridge and go, how did I ever work in a kitchen? I don't know what to make. Those are skills that you can actually teach others. People want to know how to use knives, how to sharpen them, how to prep, how to meal plan. Meal plan is nothing more than menu planning at a restaurant. You learned how to knit, you can hop online, make a little video on how you cast on, knit, purl, cast off. There are so many people looking for that in so many different languages. Speaking of which, multiple languages. If you speak another language or you want to speak another language, you can teach English as a foreign language while learning from somebody else a different language altogether. There are so many ways to share what you've got with others, and people are willing to pay for it. You just got to look at your everyday life. Maybe boring to you, but it is the most fascinating thing on the planet to somebody else. Okay? Don't knock it. So, summary. What does this have to do with planning your life 90 days at a time? Gonna say, I did this morning. Okay? $30 days, 90 days, 6 months, 1 year. My 1 year goals for health, wealth, relationships, self-improvement, faith. I want to reduce facial hair as my health. And I know that my facial hair is because of a metabolic disorder brought on by a metabolic condition known as commonly as PCOS. My labs normally come back within normal ranges. However, within normal ranges, they're never the same twice, which means that my hormones and chemicals are fluctuating and not stable. Unstable hormones, problems. So how do I break down reducing facial hair? Well, from my research last year, I know that I can try supplements that my body will not absorb due to the chemical imbalances. I know that I need at least 10 minutes of purposeful movement every day. I know that the quality of my sleep needs to be consistent. So, with those 3 things in mind, I'm ordering supplements, and then in 30 days, I will be starting them once a day, every day, for 30 days. At the 90-day mark, I'll reassess. Are they providing me with what I need? Are things improving? If I'm on the fence, I will continue once a day for 30 days and reassess. And if it's still not showing any marketable improvements by 6 months, that's when I change again. See how this kind of works? I am working towards this goal 30 days at a time, 90-day reassessments. And by halfway through the year, I've actually got a level platform to move from. Quality of my sleep, I can start tonight. Pick one time that works for me to go to bed. Work backwards and to dinner time, and schedule in the things that need to be done before I go to sleep at night. My mornings go better when I'm planned the night before. My sleep quality is improved when I know my mornings are covered because I did it the night before. So that breaks down there. Movement every day, 10 minutes. 10 minutes once a day, pick something. Walk, stretch, squats, grab a couple of cans of beans and arm curls. Make it meaningful. Again, reassess every 30 days. If I can't do it every 30 days, I'm going to reassess at 90. I've got it in my scheduler. Quick tip. However you schedule appointments, your reminders, right? Your day-to-day, your everything your kids need, you need. Start using that method to schedule in your check-ins and scheduling in your alarms and your goals. Why? Because your scheduler already works for you. Use something that works. For me, write it down in paper. Put it in a weekly planner, what I'm achieving this week. And the phone. Put it on my calendar. Put in my reminders. Get it done. There are no more excuses. Okay, correction. There are plenty of excuses. There's no more reasons why you should be sleeping on yourself anymore. You've got a plan. You got that one thing that's going to improve your life. You're going to spend the next 30 days doing that one thing once a day for 30 days until your brain recognizes that it can trust you when you say, I promise I'm going to do this. And then at 90 days, you're going to look back and go, damn, I did a good job. Where can I go now? Because my goal is still right there. What do I need to do for my steps? If you want to see a full video of how I break this down and my thought processes behind it, leave a comment down below. Let me know if you want me to go deeper into anything else, or where I got this cute little planner. Don't forget, like the video and subscribe if you found value, and I will be seeing you next.